Hello everyone, I'm Judy from Coffee, Cookies, and Books, and I'd like to say big welcome to all returning visitors and anybody who might be new. What I thought I'd do today is instead of the TBR, which would be my normal video going into sort of the end of November, but I kind of already did my TBR right through to the end of the year. So for sort of a filler video, I thought what I'd do is touch on some of the books that are coming in December, and I've got some really great ones. So if you're interested and you want to stick around, I'll see you on the other side. Hi everyone, so I have selected 15 books that were recommended to me through my Goodreads based on the genres, you know, that you put into your profile, so to speak. And it's kind of a mishmash of romance, fantasy, thriller. Surprisingly, there's no sci-fi. Not sure why that is, but what I might do is I may go through like Net Gallery and Book Sirens, because I know they have a ton of science fiction, and specifically look there and maybe do a separate video on just the sci-fi books that I find, because there are quite a few really, really good ones, and you know, I want to make sure those don't get missed. But for the time being, we'll just do these 15 from Goodreads. For this one, I'll give you the title, the author, the release date, and I'll kind of go through, I've got them all pulled up here, just a quick description on what it says, and generally how much they are on Amazon and what you're looking at as far as what you can purchase on Amazon. So I will give you that too. I'm not going to read the whole blurb. That would just take way too long. We already did that when I did my 20 books in my Kindle Unlimited, and that's just way too long. And if anybody's wondering, got the glasses on because it is in the morning here, and my eyes are not the best in the morning. They've got me on this crazy medication that wipes me the heck out, and when I get up in the morning, I can't see straight for at least until like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's not 10 yet. So I'm just going to do it with my glasses on, and hopefully you won't mind. And then at the end, I have a little something special that I'm going to show you that is from a friend of mine. Okay, so let's just get on with this. Where are we here? We want to go to the first book. Okay, and I've put them in order by when their release dates are, so that most of them are what I found, early December, like before the 10th of December, and then there's only a couple that are at the end of the month, which I found kind of odd, but it is what it is. Okay, so the first one I have is a fairly well-known author. It's Fredrik Backman, and it's The Answer Is No. It's a short story, and it actually is a short story. It is only 68 pages, and it's out on December 1st, but it sounds like it is a lit comedy, kind of. When I read the categorization on it, it said satire, which I thought was interesting. And right now, if you go in, you can actually pre-order it for free on Kindle Unlimited, which I think is really great. So, and I did that because I do want to read it. I mean, you know, it's a quick read, so would really love to read that. It says, in a hilarious short story from New York Times bestseller, the absurdities of modern life cause one man's solitary world to spin suddenly and comically out of control. So whatever it is. And then the picture on the front, which I've got up here, as you can see, it has a shopping bag. It's like food takeout. So no idea what that means, but it certainly sounds interesting. Okay, so that's book number one. The second book is a romance. It's Under Loch and Key, and Loch is spelled, as you can see, L-O-C-H, by Lana Ferguson. A woman discovers that not all monsters are her enemy, the opposite, in fact, in this new paranormal romance by Lana Ferguson. This is out December 3rd. I don't know if I said the Fredrik Backman's book is December 1st. So it's the first one of the group and coming out shortly. Lana Ferguson's is December 3rd, and it's available on Kindle and Audible and paperback, not Kindle Unlimited from the looks of it. And it is a woman discovers that not all monsters are her enemy, the opposite in fact, in this new paranormal romance by Lana Ferguson, author of The Fake Maid. Now, I've never read any of hers. If I'm being honest, this doesn't interest me. Like, it sounds like it's like he's coming from the picture. I'm not a fan of the comic fronts, but this one looks clear. Love can be a real Loch mess. It says, I think that's cute as heck, but I'm not attracted to read this book, so that's not likely, but there you have it. That one's December 3rd. Okay, next one in the batch is Treble Island. It's a gripping new novel inspired by a real place and events from the author's family. Treble Island is the standalone suspense debut from historical mystery writer Sharon Short. So it's also December 3rd is when it's coming out. And let me see, what is it listed as under here? Historical mystery, women's sleuth mystery, women's sleuth. So obviously it's a woman is your main character, and it's based in 1932. And it looks like it's American or Canadian. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, historical novel. Again, not much of interest to me. I mean, it is, I guess, what you would call a thriller, but or mystery or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a historical mystery type person, so I wouldn't likely read that. But it does sound interesting. I thought it would be. Somebody might find that really interesting. Okay, then we have Private Rites by Julia Armfield. Let me see. It is available in all formats. So it's available Kindle, Audible, hardcover, paperback, and it is one from the beloved award-winning author of Our Wives Under the Sea, a speculative imagining of King Lear, centering three sisters navigating queer love and loss in a drowning world. So it sounds like it might be sapphic, possibly. Let me see, what is it listed under here? Sorry, first thing in the morning. Story sister, lesbian fiction. Yeah, literary fiction. So it is literary fiction. So that's kind of a nice option for anybody who might be looking for something that has a sapphic spin to it, and about the three sisters, and anyone who likes literary fiction. So you might really like this one. Okay, so then, and that's a December 3rd release. I keep forgetting to do that. Duh. I mean, that's the whole point of the video, right? Yeah. Oh, anyway. Okay, the next one is P.S. I Hate You by Lauren Connolly. I'm sure I've read some of hers. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones for sure. It says here, in this splendidly bittersweet romantic comedy, enemies forced together by a mutual loss are led on a cross-country journey toward a second chance. So, sounds like a lot of fun. 428 pages, and it's listed as enemies to lovers romance, romantic comedy. So bit of a rom-com, I guess, as well. And it is, again, at December 3rd. Don't know if I mentioned that or not. And it's available Kindle audio and paperback. So, all right. Next one. I'm going to keep forgetting some of the stuff I should be telling you. Okay, this one is also December 3rd release. I Might Be in Trouble by Daniel Aleman. This one actually sounded really interesting to me. My big issue with this one is it is super expensive. The Kindle edition alone is $19.99. I am not paying $19.99 for Kindle. And that is actually a pre-order price. The normal price is $38. Who in their right mind would pay $38 for it? Sorry, I'm ranting. Shouldn't rant. Okay. Anyway, which I'm annoyed because this one sounds really good and it's one I would want to read, but I'm not paying that for it. So I'll wait and see what happens after December 3rd when it comes out. A suspenseful dark comedy about a struggling writer who wakes up to find his date from the night before dead and must then decide how far he's willing to go to spin the misadventure into his next big book. Okay, I gotta tell, like, this one sounds hilarious. I mean, it's clearly a comedy mystery, suspenseful, dark comedy, it says, right? But it's like, yeah, this one sounds so good, which is a damn shame. It's dark humor, gay literature, and fiction, so it's sapphic as well. So his date and Hispanic American literature. From what I can tell, Daniel Aleman was born and raised in Mexico. So, yeah. And he spent much time in Montreal, New York City area, and now lives in Toronto. So he's actually just 45 minutes from me. So I really love the sound of this. I just am not paying $19.99 for that, and it doesn't have paperback on offer. Yeah, only the hardcover, and the hardcover is $40 as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that comes out. But I love the sound of it, and I'm so annoyed that it's that much money. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I do tend to go on. So then the next one is another one that's December 3rd. A whole bunch of them on December 3rd. And this one's called The Rental House, a novel. This one is literary fiction by Weike Wang. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that could be how it's pronounced. And it's available on all options. I mean, the most cost-effective option if you have an audiobook membership is through Audio, actually. The other options are quite expensive. And it is from the award-winning author of Chemistry, sharp-witted, insightful novel about marriage as seen through the lens of two family vacations. So it's literary fiction, if you like that sort of thing. I don't believe it's got any sapphic leanings to it. It says Asian American literature, family life, literary fiction. So, yeah, so there's that. Not of personal interest to me, but anybody who likes the literary fiction genre would probably really like this one. I'm not really sure why it's coming up in my Goodreads, because I am almost 100% sure I did not check off literary fiction because I don't particularly like literary fiction, but and I've got quite a few of them in here, but a couple sound okay. All right, next one. Okay, this one is the second book in a series. It's The Secret of the Three Fates, a Ruby Vaughn mystery. So it says it's book 2 of 2. I don't know if there's going to be more. American heiress Ruby Vaughn still hasn't entirely forgiven her octogenarian employer and housemate Mr. Owen for bringing the occult into their lives during a recent visit to Cornwall. So this sounds like a lot of fun. It's following an Atmospherics by Jess Armstrong, and December 3rd is coming out again. I'm like, I get so involved in what the book's about that I forget all the other details. Anyway, following the atmospheric and award-winning Gothic historical mystery debut, The Curse of the Penrith Hall, this one's The Secret of the Three Fates. Today, best-selling author Jess Armstrong's heroine Ruby Vaughn returns in The Secret of the Three Fates, where the Scottish hills hold ghosts of the past that threaten Ruby's present. So it's like mystery thriller. I think that's what it's rated under. Let's have a quick look. 20th century historical romance, 20th century historical romance, Gothic. Yeah. I don't get romance from this. Maybe. I mean, she wouldn't be having a romance with her octogenarian employer, I don't think. But then who the hell knows? Anyway, so I guess it has romance, but it also has mystery. in it. And it is available in all 4 formats. And again, December 3rd on that one. Okay, next one. This one's a huge one. And I know a lot of YouTubers are waiting for this one. YouTubers that I watch and love dearly are dying for this one. And this is Wind and Truth, Book 5 of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. This is out December 6th. So they don't have too much longer to wait, these people. And again, this is another one that is like insanely expensive on Kindle. I think the whole idea is to get you to buy the paperback, which paperback, considering, I think this is like, how many pages is this? It's 1,344 pages. Are you like, this thing's massive, okay? And it's only $31 for the paperback, which I think is completely reasonable for a paperback that's that big. I mean, even the hardcover is almost the same price. Although I'm a paperback person on something that large, like I have the first book in the series, I've not read it yet, do plan on reading it, but a book that is that large, I do not want a hardcover. I want a paperback. So, yeah, this is the 5th in the Cosmere, the Stormlight Archive Cosmere series, and I know quite a few people are awaiting this one. I am not going to read too much on it because, of course, I don't want to give it away. But for anybody, this is a fantasy. This is like an epic fantasy, military fantasy, sword and sorcery fantasy. So, I mean, it's, you know, right up my alley. But I have not read the first book yet, and there are 5. Apparently, this is it. This is the last book in the series. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, December 6th on that one. Okay, and then the next one is What the Wife Knew. A wife wonders who killed her husband in a twisty thriller of deception and betrayal by Darby Kane. So this one sounds like a murder thriller. It's available in all 3 formats. It's coming out on December 10th. And yeah, this one sounds like a famous renowned pediatric surgeon dies in a fall down the stairs. And the neighbors point the finger at the wife. Okay, so What the Wife Knew. Sounds like a interesting thriller. It is available, I think I said, all 4 formats. December 10th. Did I say it was coming out December 10th? Sorry, I keep losing track of my stuff. It's too early in the morning. My brain's not, hold on. Coffee. I don't know if that'll work or not, but we tried. Okay. What's the next? Next one's a romance, which is kind of a nice switch. And it is Not in My Book by Katie Holt. So, the hating game meets beach read in this sexy and hilarious enemies to lover romance from debut Peruvian Tennessean voice. Yeah, so very interesting. It is Hispanic American literature, multicultural, interracial romance, and literary fiction. So, literary fiction coming out, did I say December 10th? So, coming out December 10th. And sounds like, an interesting romance. Again, not something I would read, but it just doesn't hold a lot of interest to me. I read the blurb ahead of time and it was like, but again, it's a little more on the literary fiction side, so maybe that's probably why. Okay, the next one is one that I'm waiting for. I have it on pre-order, and that is A Monsoon Rising. This is the 2nd book in the Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I think is how her name is pronounced. Apologies if I got that wrong. But I do have this on pre-order. It is coming out on December 10th. And the pre-order is actually, it's $29.62 for the Sprayed Edges book, which I think is lovely. I have the first one in the series, so that's why I'm getting the second one. And it says, two hearts circle each other in the eye of the storm. In this highly anticipated follow-up to the New York Times bestseller, The Hurricane Wars, prepare for more enemies to lovers, romance, magical adventures, and political schemes in this Southeast Asian-inspired world. So, really love that. Sounds like a great read. Hopefully it is not disappointing after the first one. And it is supernaturalism, Asian American literature, cultural heritage, historical fiction. It's what's listed under, which is kind of weird because to me it is a bit more fantasy. But yeah, so there's that one. And then there is another one on December 10th. It says, What the Woods Took. This is Yellow Jackets meets Girl Interrupted, when a group of troubled teens in a wilderness therapy program find themselves stranded in a forest full of monsters eager to take their place. So that sounds like creepy as hell. Okay. What is it listed under here? It's so it is LGBTQ and romance for young adults. So it's a YA literature and fiction. Yeah, it's LGBTQ, so obviously it has a sapphic spin to it, and it is coming out again December 10th, and it is is not available in paperback. It's only hardcover, Kindle, and audio on that one. And what did I say, by Courtney Gold. It doesn't really yank my chain at all, even though it is a thriller. But typically I'm not into much of YA, so I probably wouldn't read that one. Then the next one we have is Zhen Jie Chao, and it is book 2 of The Iron Widow, Heavenly Tyrant. I think quite a few people are waiting for this one. This is not available until December 24th. I did not read her first one. I have been meaning to read that one. What the heck was the first one again? Hold on. I'm just going to click over. Iron Widow was the first. No, that was... Yes, Iron Widow, book 1. Heavenly Tyrant is book 2. Yes. So I meant to read the first one. I don't actually own it. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's not coming out until the end of December. And it is Pacific Rim meets The Handmaid's Tale in this blend of Chinese history and mecha science fiction for YA readers. So it's a YA reader one, but it is more science fiction blended a bit, which I had heard based on the first one. But again, have not picked it up. It says that Qian must balance dangerous politics with a new quest for vengeance in the sequel to Iron Widow. So, definitely sounds like something that would be of interest. The Kindle edition is $12.99. I still think that's a little on the pricey side, but I would probably get this in paperback because I would want to read it that way. And it's young adult fiction on girls and women's issues. Science fiction for young adults. Yeah. Okay, and then the last one is also December 24th. So it's another one, The Resurrectionist by A. Ray Dunlap. And this one is... I think, let me just check here. What's the listing on this one? I have no idea why these came up in my thing. Gothic serial killer thrillers, gay literature and fiction. So this is another one that's sapphic leaning. And it is a thriller. Let me see. Historical fiction, true crime, and dark academia intertwine in a harrowing tale of murder, greed, and the grisly origins of modern medicine for readers of Lydia Kang, M.L. Rio, Sarah Perry and C.E. McGill. So, yeah. Amazing. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know. That doesn't sound much interest to me. I mean, I do think the cover's really cool. Right away when I saw the cover, I was like, "Oh, that looks really interesting." But again, it's like historical fiction and crime, and it's not really something that's up my alley. But I thought it sounded like it could be a great read. And again, it's December 24th. So that's it. That's all I have. Let me just shut that down. I'm kind of curious if anybody else has gone into their Goodreads and they've pulled up what Goodreads recommends to them. Because in all honesty, I'm kind of surprised. I would say like out of the 15 books that were recommended to me, there might be 3 that I would actually read. And there's quite a few that are on that list that I would never go anywhere near. Now, I mean, you know, you can't really, I don't think you can target your romance. Like, I tend to be more a military romance reader. That tends to be what I go for. I do like a bit of dark romance, and I do typically prefer my romance to be the main characters to be a little bit on the older side, but you can't really target what you're looking for that way, I don't believe. I'm going to have to go in and I'm going to have to look at that again and see what it is I picked, because like literary fiction, no. I do not read literary fiction. It's just something that I just don't really read too much of. I'm not saying I don't read any, but it really has to grip me and interest me to read that. I am much more of, I like my fantasy, I like my science fiction, I like my romance, my military romance, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go in and see if I can refine it somehow. But I find the selections a little odd for me. Those are what were recommended to me. But anyways, that's what I found available for December. Now, what I want to do, I want to end it off. This is a shout out to a friend of mine who just had her book come out. It is a lovely little book that is middle grade. It is rated for 9 to 18, and it's called SALMA, and it's by H.T. Miserle. And I mean, look at the beautiful illustration on the front, and the back has an absolutely gorgeous illustration as well. And inside, like, you can tell it's written for a younger audience by the way that it's formatted. It's got like space between the lines. It's a much larger text format. But it also has these really beautiful illustrations also inside, which are gorgeous. Now, what I really love about this is, and I am going to read the back because I think I should. In a small village in Afghanistan, young Salma is elated to wake up and make the most of each day, accompanied by her best friend, Lely. Salma is often in pursuit of adventure, especially when it involves bushkashi, a traditional sport in her country that Salma has always been drawn to. Surrounded by a colorful and close-knit family, as well as lifelong friendships in her community, Salma's life is perfect, almost. So I believe it, I'm not going to read too much more. I believe it draws into kind of a bit of a mystery. And of course, you know, this is a young girl in a land that we look at very differently. So I love the fact that she wrote this, and in all honesty, it's about her daring adventures. And I would encourage anyone who has somebody who's on the younger side, and you need to read this. I think it's lovely. I have not read it myself. I am actually going to add it to what I read before the end of December, so I can fully review it, even though I'm not the target audience. I bought this so that I could read it, and I think it's a lovely read. So I would say, yes, so SALMA by H.T. Misery. I guess that's it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I'm done. It's early morning. I need another coffee. I need more coffee. And I will try to come up with something else for my next one. I may do another feature author one, something a little bit different. I did a romance author last time. I think that I might do a mystery thriller writer next time around. So, yeah, so look forward to that. She writes, the person I'm thinking of, she writes, has written a lot of books. So it's going to be a good one. So thanks again for joining me today. I would love it if you could like and subscribe and maybe comment on what you thought of the books, if there was anything in there that was interesting to you. And also if you could comment on your experiences with Goodreads and the recommendations that you get. You know, if you have any tips or if you've experienced the same thing as me. I would love to hear it. And I think that's it for today. And hopefully I will have another really great video coming to you soon. Again, this is only a once a week adventure for me, and I'm enjoying all of it. And hopefully you are too. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time around.